Another great way to begin thinking about a topic or a focus for your research essay and also beginning to develop some of the research itself is by taking a look at some of the research databases that you'll find on our college website. So what we're looking at now is the Gateway homepage. And if I navigate at the top of the screen to where it says library, it's going to bring me to the college library. And from here, I can search books that are available through the library, articles that are available through the library, magazines. But for our purposes, I'm going to start over here. If you've never heard of a research database before, a research database is kind of like Google. It's a search engine, but what it does is it weeds out all of the sources that are unreliable, and it only gives you what are considered academically appropriate sources. Oftentimes, these sources are peer-reviewed, which means that other writers or scholars who are in the same field have looked at the articles and have deemed them to be meeting a certain quality. For our purposes, we're going to take a look at a research database that is called Opposing Viewpoints in Context. And Opposing Viewpoints in Context is going to give us a lot of opinion pieces. These opinion pieces will be connected to the topics that we are in fact writing about. So I can browse issues if I want to kind of get a more detailed list of the different topics that are organized through this site. But for our purposes, again, since we've narrowed things down, I'm going to take a look at this page on big data, which is connected to technology and privacy. And the first page I'm going to get is just going to give me an overview of the topic. It's going to give me some of the major debates that are going on, what some of the considerations are, some of the history of the topic. It might pose some questions for me to think about. Okay, and that's a great way to get started. The other thing that I'll find on this page is I will find links to other kinds of sources. So I have viewpoints, which are like editorials, they're opinion pieces. I have magazine articles. I even have infographics, or if I want to go right to a chart and find some statistics, I can do that. So if I select viewpoints for now, you'll notice that some of these viewpoints or some of these articles have already been posted to Blackboard and that you've read them. But these, again, just like the editorial page, we want to take a read and know what the conversation is about before we jump into the conversation. So a selection of these articles would be useful for you to take a look at before trying to develop your working thesis, right? So for instance, how is the iPhone's latest privacy update means big changes in the personal data market, right? This might be a way for you to focus your essay. Maybe instead of writing about data generally, you want to focus just on data privacy that's connected to a smartphone or a particular brand of smartphone like the iPhone. That would be more than appropriate and would help you focus your essay a little bit more. This one is interesting because it talks about the sort of incognito or private web browsing and whether or not it actually does shield your web browsing from surveillance. That might be another entry point into the essay assignment. Perhaps you will argue that there should be more private browsing options available, or that private browsing should be stronger or more, more private, for lack of a better word. And so just taking a look at the opinions page of Opposing Viewpoints is another excellent way to take a look and get started. If I return back to the home page, you'll notice that in addition to big data, there's also a page on public health and personal freedom. And this page is certainly going to be connected to our ideas about COVID-19. So very similar to the first topic, I can find an overview of the issue on the first page. And from here, I can explore different viewpoints so that I can read what other people are thinking before I join the conversation.